We begin our exploration with the Sturmabteilung, commonly known by its abbreviation, the SA. This organization's formal designation belied its violent and chaotic nature. Most famously, they were recognized as the Brownshirts, a name derived directly from their distinctive uniform. This moniker became synonymous with their pervasive presence and aggressive tactics across Germany. The SA functioned as the paramilitary wing of the nascent Nazi Party. Its primary role was to enforce the party's will through intimidation and direct action. The SA played a crucial and often brutal role in the Nazi Party's ascent to power. Their actions were instrumental in dismantling democratic institutions and intimidating political opponents across Germany. Historically, the Brownshirts preceded the dominance of the Schutzstaffel, or SS. Understanding the SA is vital to grasping the early, violent phase of the Nazi movement, before the SS assumed paramount control. The Sturmabteilung first emerged in the turbulent political landscape of Germany in the early 1920s. This period of widespread unrest provided fertile ground for extremist groups. Initially, their primary purpose was to provide protection for Nazi Party meetings. They acted as bouncers and enforcers, ensuring Hitler and other speakers could deliver their messages unobstructed. Beyond defense, the SA actively sought to disrupt meetings of political opponents. This tactic was a deliberate strategy to silence dissent and undermine rival parties through physical confrontation. The iconic Brownshirts nickname stemmed from the color of their uniform. This choice was not merely stylistic, but pragmatic, rooted in economic necessity. During this post-World War I era, there was a surplus of brown shirts, originally intended for German colonial troops in Africa. These were readily available and inexpensive, making them an ideal uniform. The SA's membership was primarily composed of unemployed veterans of the First World War. These men, disillusioned and often disenfranchised, found a new sense of purpose within the organization. Alongside veterans, many disgruntled workers also joined the ranks. Economic hardship and social instability pushed these individuals towards radical political movements. Furthermore, nationalistic youth eager for action and belonging swelled the SA's members. They were drawn to the promise of a revitalized Germany and the camaraderie offered by the Brownshirts. A fervent belief in Nazi ideology served as a powerful unifying factor among these diverse groups. They were united by a shared vision of a stronger, ethnically pure Germany and contempt for the Weimar Republic. More than just ideology, a strong desire for action and a sense of collective power bound them together. For many, the SA offered an outlet for frustration and a channel for direct participation in political change. Throughout the lifespan of the Weimar Republic, the SA's activities continuously escalated in intensity and brutality. They became an increasingly visible and feared presence on German streets. Their signature involvement was in widespread street violence. This included frequent and often bloody street brawls with communist groups, their ideological archenemies. These clashes extended to conflicts with other political rivals as well. The SA was an instrument of political coercion designed to suppress any opposition to the Nazi Party's agenda. Political intimidation was a core tactic employed systematically to influence public life. The Brownshirts aimed to instill fear among the general populace, and specifically amongst voters. They played a crucial role in spreading Nazi propaganda, often through aggressive means. Their presence at rallies and in public spaces reinforced the party's message and image of strength. The SA employed a range of brutal tactics to achieve their objectives. Violence and intimidation were not incidental, but fundamental to their operational strategy. Beatings of political opponents, Jews, and other perceived enemies were commonplace. These acts of gratuitous violence served as public displays of force and warnings. Vandalism, targeting Jewish businesses and political party offices, also became a regular occurrence. This destruction was a symbolic and practical means of expressing contempt and asserting dominance. Tragically, murder was also part of the SA's repertoire. Opponents who proved too resilient or prominent were sometimes eliminated, sending a chilling message throughout society. The pervasive actions of the SA had a profound impact on German society. They deliberately created an atmosphere of fear, making public dissent a dangerous act. Their constant street battles and acts of violence fostered deep instability within the Republic. This contributed significantly to the perception that the Weimar government was weak and incapable of maintaining order. Ultimately, the SA's systematic brutality contributed to the erosion of democratic institutions. By undermining the rule of law and intimidating citizens, they weakened the foundations of the young democracy. Their relentless aggression and street-level dominance paved the way for the Nazi Party's ultimate ascent to power. The SA literally cleared the path for Hitler, often with fists and boots. In the early 1930s, the Sturmabteilung experienced exponential growth, ballooning in size and influence. Its membership soared, making it a formidable force. This period of rapid expansion occurred primarily under the leadership of Ernst Röhm. Röhm, a close associate of Hitler, transformed the SA into a mass movement. Under Röhm's command, the SA became an increasingly powerful force within the broader Nazi movement. Its sheer numbers and military structure made it an undeniable power bloc. Röhm harbored significant ambitions for the SA's future. He envisioned the Brownshirts evolving into the future army of Germany, replacing the traditional military. He explicitly aimed for the SA to replace the existing Reichswehr, Germany's professional army. This bold objective set the stage for an inevitable conflict with the established military leadership. However, the SA's growing independence also began to pose a threat to Hitler's ultimate power. Its vast size and Röhm's personal loyalty from his men created an alternative power center. The undisciplined behavior of the Brownshirts also became a major concern. Their street brawls and criminal acts were increasingly seen as a liability, even by many within the Nazi Party. Their reputation for violence, though initially useful, started to become problematic. It undermined efforts to present the Nazi Party as a legitimate and orderly political force to the German middle class. Röhm's vision and the SA's continued autonomous actions created deep internal tensions within the Nazi hierarchy. Other key figures like Heinrich Himmler and Hermann Göring viewed Röhm with suspicion. These tensions revolved around the ultimate structure of the Nazi state and the allocation of power. The question of who would control Germany's armed might was central to the brewing conflict. The SA's sheer numerical strength, reaching millions by 1934, made it a powerful but potentially uncontrollable force. Its members often felt they had earned a greater share of the spoils of power. Röhm's calls for a second revolution, aimed at further socializing the economy and radicalizing the state, further alienated conservative elements and industrialists who supported Hitler. His open homosexuality also became a source of scandal and a weapon for his enemies within the party. This offered a pretext for those looking to discredit or remove him. The growing rivalry between the SA and the SS also intensified. The SS, under Himmler, was being groomed as a more disciplined and loyal elite guard, directly answerable to Hitler. These mounting pressures and Röhm's unwavering ambition placed the SA on a collision course with Hitler's vision for a consolidated, tightly controlled regime. After Hitler became chancellor in January 1933, the SA quickly transformed from an asset into a significant liability. Their continued independent action threatened the new government's stability. Significant pressure mounted from the Reichswehr, Germany's professional army. The military leadership was deeply wary of the SA's ambitions and Röhm's desire to merge it with the regular army. The Reichswehr perceived the SA as a direct threat to their own institutional power and traditional role. They feared being swallowed by a mass of undisciplined street fighters. Beyond the military, the SA's undisciplined and often criminal behavior became a major public relations problem for the new Nazi regime. It undermined their attempts to portray themselves as a legitimate and orderly government. Their continued violence and lawlessness embarrassed Hitler and risked alienating the conservative establishment, whose support he needed to solidify his rule. The SA was perceived as an uncontrollable mob. This confluence of factors led to one of the most brutal purges in Nazi history, the Night of the Long Knives. This decisive event unfolded in June 1934, permanently altering the Nazi power structure. The purge involved the brutal elimination of the SA's leadership and many of its members. Hitler orchestrated this move with cold calculation and ruthless efficiency. The perpetrators of this widespread assassination campaign were Hitler himself, acting with the crucial support of the SS and the Reichswehr. This alliance sealed the SA's fate. The key victim was Ernst Röhm, the longtime leader of the SA and Hitler's former comrade. He, along with hundreds of other SA leaders and political opponents, was summarily executed. The Night of the Long Knives effectively crippled the SA as a political and military force. Its ability to challenge Hitler's authority was irrevocably broken. The power and influence of the Brownshirts were significantly diminished almost overnight. Their role as an independent force in German politics came to an abrupt and bloody end. Following the purge, the role as the primary paramilitary force within the Nazi regime was swiftly taken over by the SS. Himmler's organization now rose to unchallenged prominence. Despite the decimation of its leadership, the SA continued to exist in a diminished capacity. It was largely relegated to ceremonial duties and political indoctrination, stripped of its former power. The legacy of the Brownshirts remains a stark reminder of the extreme violence and intimidation that were central to the Nazi Party's rise to power. Their story highlights how street-level thuggery paved the way for totalitarian control.